Welcome back to tele-turuan. So let us now continue our discussion about the unchanging values. I have here some statements and I want to get your opinion whether you agree or not. Are you ready? Come on, let's do it. There is justice in all races. Do you agree? Yes. Very good. How about for this statement? Fairness and acceptance must be the center of our existence. What's your side? Very good. We all agreed about it. We must be fair all the time. How about for this statement? Justice exists in our school. Yes, your side? Well said. We all agree about it because justice is being observed in our school. How about for this statement? We are all born with equal freedom. Yes? Very good. We all agreed about that we have equal freedom. And last statement, equality is our common denominator. Do you agree about it? You must, of course. We are all equal and that equality sets us the same, set as fair among others. Now, these statements are actually the ideas where a certain person had fought. Do you know who I'm talking to? So let us get to know him. From 1957 to 1968, he traveled over 6 million miles and spoke 2,500 times. He was the youngest person to receive a Nobel Peace Prize. Any guess? Well, he is Martin Luther King Jr. And one of the speeches that is very famous, of course, I have a dream. Therefore, I want you to analyze some of his notable speech or some of his notable lines from his speech. Are you ready? I'll be showing you some lines, so let us analyze each line. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. And so, we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. All men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. We are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and the righteousness like a mighty stream. I have a dream that children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And last, one day, right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. So, let us now answer the questions. Are you ready? So I want you to participate as I present the question. So let's get started. What social issue transpires in this statement? 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. What do you think is the answer? Very good. Racial discrimination. And that is something that he had fought hard to make the lives of the black people be free from slavery, from racial discrimination. How about this question? What emotion best describes this statement? 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. I'm asking about emotion. Yes, the answer is dismay. It took centuries before they gained freedom. How about for this one? What promise surmounts this statement? All men, yes, black men, as well as white men would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What's your answer? Fight for equality. And that is something that should be equal for everyone. Equality. How about this one? What attitude is shown in this statement? Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. What's your answer? Optimism. Very good. Optimism or being positive. How about for this question? What does he want for the young Negroes? I have a dream that children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Any answer? That's great. Social acceptance. And of course, equality. That is something that every society must have, or every individual must possess to accept. Now, great job, guys. I hope that those statements from the speeches of Martin Luther King Jr. would really help us become more human. Now, for your assignment. I want you to answer the following questions. First, what struggles Martin Luther King Jr. and the Negroes had? Do you think he was able to represent the community of Negro? Why? Do you think he succeeded fighting the liberty for black people? How and why? And why is it important to recognize the existence of others? Next, is discrimination still happening nowadays? I want you to cite some instances. And the last one, what attitude should we possess to overcome the VUCA world? Why? Again, what attitude should we possess to overcome the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity of the world? Why? So I hope you've learned, and I want you to do those activities and reflect on the values that we have. I have here, Sana All. I want you to join me reading this poetry, actually a lyric poetry by Matisayu. It is a song entitled One Day. So let's read. All my life, I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war and our children will play. The same thing with what Martin Luther King had prayed for his children, for the people, for the black people. Same thing that we have to pray. That we are equal, there must be fairness, and we have to accept everyone. Regardless of your skin color, of your disabilities, of your races, and no matter how different you are in the society. So, what are the values that we have to possess? There must be optimism, equality, truthfulness, courage, fairness, and of course, love. These are some of the values which are very important for us human. Remember, we are human. We must have a rational mind and a good heart. Therefore, my dear learners, stay positive because values are universal and timeless. Thank you for your active participation. I hope you've learned a lot. This has been your teacher presenter, Denver Soriano of San Jose National High School. See you next time, everyone.